with Diamond Cut Media. I have the legend Pete Rock with me.
Peace.
And I have Amxxr with us today, man.
Peace, beloved.
How you guys doing today? Yeah?
We good, man. Chilling.
Okay, we're down at IMI Studio down the Lower East Side. You know, Pete was previewing some new music for us. Sounded dope. With Amxxr, sounded dope. So I want to, before we get into the deep conversation, let's go to you guys' collaboration project. The first one that I heard was 21 grams, Worth His Weight in Soul. So can we talk about how that project came about?
Basically, I came up with this idea, being who I am, I think I have plenty of things that twirl and circle in my head, so I came up with the idea of, to get him familiar with people, is to just rap to anything. Hey, take this, and familiar stuff that people know, and rap to it, and let's make a mixtape, and maybe throw a few other little gems in there that people never heard, and get a feel on this kid. And then next thing you know, we end up, doing an album after the mixtape, and it was beautiful because making the album. After the first song, everything else became so easy, you know what I'm saying? Because we kind of got a feel for direction where we're going, you know what I'm saying? And so everything just became like, when I had a new batch of beats, this guy works like a horse, man, and he sends things back really fast, and then we end up getting in there, the studio to knock it out, and it's a song.
Okay, dope. And then, Amxxr, how is it working with, someone that's, in rarefied air like a Pete Rock?
It's just humbling, man. You gotta know in life when to be a student and when to be the teacher. And when you're around him, you just gotta be in student mode, bro. Play your position, listen to the coach and run your plays. That's it.
Can you give a little details on that project? I know it's a collaboration between you two again.
It's called, the new album that I'm doing with him is called Dope Boy Soul. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? And it's real life shit. This is not made up stories. This is straight us, how we lived as individuals on earth, you know what I'm saying? And put to music. And it's a soundtrack, if you ask me. I'm very proud of this man.
Thank you, brother.
For what he's done with my music, and looking forward to people hearing this big time. And then, more things to come in the future, man. You know what I'm saying?
And can you give any insight on the new project? I heard some new tracks myself downstairs. It sounded crazy. So you want to pat yourself in the back? Go ahead, man.
It's like I said, bro. Like he quarterback. I run the routes, man. Primarily that's how you're in the room with somebody with this magnitude of history and just gravitational pull for music. You gotta know how to maneuver. I think the cohesiveness, yes, it takes time. We probably have about 55 records on my computer. I don't know how many we have total, but I know, just chopping through the projects, man. Just learn. I'm just a student in student mode around my brother, man. It's like a, big brother, little brother vibe. I listen. If he gets on me, I listen. And it's always gonna be respect there. So that's the biggest thing is respecting the message and not letting your ego get in the way of it. And I can honestly say when we go into the studio, we leave egos at the door. It's student and teacher, and I'm student, and that's just primarily the role I play. But we definitely have a lot of fun in creating it. We talk trash with each other. Joe call, FaceTime all the time and stuff. So it just builds a brotherhood.
Right, I got that real chemistry, and as you said, respecting the message and the music. When I listen to the project, 21 grams Worth His Weight in Soul, it's refreshing to me. I'm a younger dude, but I listen to old, music. I gotta give respect. Gotta give respect to the '90s, because like you said in the listening session, you guys paved the way for us that's coming up that love this music stuff. So in this day and age where like music is so self-centered with like with money and jewelry, flashy stuff.
Right.
I listened to your tape. You was giving game on. Getting our people, getting land, different topics that that's real topics. So what is it? When you guys lock in and get in the studio, is it like that mindset, like I'm gonna drop these gems on these tracks, or do you just go in and just have fun?
Hey man, it's a Pete Rock soundscape. It's soul music, bro. It's street soul music, and you just gotta. If it's in you, it's gonna come out of you. So I just follow his lead. The soundscape is there. Yeah.
I just think sometimes, you know, when I'm making beats, I gotta make somebody want to rap. That's the thought process that I put into it when I'm making music. I'm like, you know, because there's plenty of times where I would listen to hip hop that I loved when I was younger, and it made me want to rap too. You know what I mean? Hearing a beat like Sucker MCs, you start rapping and stuff, and you're like, damn. And so, you know, that was basically, you know, the idea of when I'm making beats for him.
Right, and you guys definitely have an undeniable chemistry. It's like the beats is perfect, the lyrics is perfect, we go together. But P-Rock, I want to get to you, you know, you've been in the game, you know, for a while, you know, decades, maybe 2-3 decades at this point. So I want to ask you about longevity. I know you spoke downstairs, you know, about the youngins, you know, they have to keep their mind on mastering their craft, putting their hours in. So, you know, how do you sustain longevity in this music business?
I think really not giving up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just not giving up, sticking with it, man. You know, and remembering what you love, and remembering how happy it made you feel, and how passionate you feel about it, and how you love hip hop so much. You just want to see greatness keep going to the top. You know what I'm saying? And with those things, kept me a lot around. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that outcome is what I live for. Like when I'm making a beat with an artist and we finish a song, the outcome, that's most important to me. You know what I mean? And you know, I've experienced it with him, I experienced it with Hev, I experienced it with so many other people that I've worked with. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my whole thing is about when I'm doing what I'm doing. Is like, you know, just making something that people never heard before, and to a level where it can be greater than great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. And then while we're still on P-Rock, I want to ask about the Tracklib competition. You know,
the Tracklib competition. Man, listen, bro. Look, I've been looking forward to this because I've been on Instagram hearing some of the contestants posting beats, and I heard this one, and I was just like, man. And you know, I looked at dude, and I was like, if he keeps making beats like that, he gonna win this whole thing.
Right.
So there's a special guy in here. So other dudes gotta really be on their game. You know, I've heard some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So
can you speak a little bit more, like how the people can, you know, submit tracks?
With Tracklib, man. Like, I just want to say this first, because you know, their addition to what Pete Rock does works. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything they're about, I'm about. So, you know, as far as how people can reach out to Tracklib about all of this, you know, they can, I guess, follow their website. You know, I don't know if they're on Instagram or Twitter. I'm pretty sure they are. I think they are on Instagram. And you can at them and get your stuff heard and possibly enter the contest, you know, where a person like me is judging your music. You know what I'm saying? And giving you 100% direction and truth about, you know, what it sounds like, what you do with it, where it should go. Or really what I always want to leave the thinking up to the person, like what is your heart? What does your heart speak? How does it, you know, when you make music, it has to come from here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's always interesting to know another man's perspective or like how he feels about something, or what music does to him to make him feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, dope. And then this question for both of you guys. How do you know, so you got the Tracklib competition, so you're obviously open to like a lot of newcomers and stuff. How do you two feel about, you know, the current landscape? You know, you guys are native New Yorkers. How do you feel about the current landscape of, you know, music in New York City right now? Because from my perspective, this is hottest New York has been maybe since early 2000s or the 90s, you know?
When I think of the New York just the entire landscape of music, or the let's say the hip hop ecosystem, and how we kind of allow entities that are not on the ground can create this divisive culture, the culture of divisiveness, right? Where you have generational, let's say, factors. Say if you got traumatized men trying to teach traumatized children, you're gonna have a traumatized energy and a traumatized conversation. So it also impacts the music. So I'm not saying we messiahs, but we make a certain niche of soulful street music that the ingredient that what we put is to heal. Like it's not kumbaya, but it's definitely come get this soul and you let us have some fun and enjoy the vibe, because nobody by nature, human beings we created to love and show love, you know what I'm saying? But we get taught these things throughout environment, education, and X, Y, and Z. So I think New York is a microcosm of the macrocosm of a global issue of misinformation, and a global issue of just how certain powers that be within music itself and outside of music have control and created certain, like I would call controlled chaos, but it's not like chaos to the point where it's destructive. But New York itself has a very unique, and it will always be New York. Nothing will ever be like New York with any form of music, because the culture is so rich here. I'm a byproduct of his lineage, you know what I'm saying? Then, like I said in one of the albums, like, you gotta to know, you gotta study it to pass it on, or to add to the chapters, you gotta read the chapters that came before you. So, and I think that analogy would make the most sense. So, there's a lot of information. I love what's happening. I just think a little bit more cohesion, and we'll be okay, because we need that good competition, not non-toxic competition. I guess not the toxic competition, So that's my take on it. I think New York hip hop is thriving, and we here to just make good music and vibe with whatever as long as the vibe is right, we here.
And Pete, how do you feel about the landscape? Seeing, from your era, a few eras after you to where we at now.
I mean, I feel like, it's important to adapt to the times, you know what I'm saying? And I spend time listening to all of this stuff. And there's some cleverness that I hear that I like, that's like inspiring, you know what I'm saying? And then there's somewhere where it could be fixed, or they could be changed a little bit, or you could take more on of an important approach, like this is important that I say this, or I talk about this, you know what I'm saying? Because this is real life we're dealing with, man, you know what I'm saying? And I feel a lot of the rap that's being done mainstream wise can kind of take it a little bit more seriously, you know what I'm saying? And me, I'm just like one of those people that adapt to any sound, any type of thing, and make any kind of music, because I learned about versatility. And so when you learn about versatility, you have to play around in your house. You gotta be let me try this. This shit might come out dope. If it don't, ain't nobody ever gonna hear it. I ain't putting this out. And that's how you build yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing that shit for years, man. And so I'm a master at, like, alright, you want that? Alright, I'll do that. You want this? Alright, let's go street corner bodega style. We'll do that. Let's go to, a medium place, happy, family orientated, soul music. I give you that. It's like, even with jazz music, there's some jazz samples that sound like straight hardcore, like madness. Sound like a psych record, like psychedelic 60s, late 60s joint. I can keep going for days and days talking about this type of shit.
Right. All right, cool. And I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. So to wrap up the interview, this is Diamond Cut Media, so I'm always big on giving gems to the people that's going to view the interview and stuff.
Okay.
So if you guys can both give a tidbit of advice that's gotten you to the point where you are and that's keeping you going.
Okay. My advice, and to me, no disrespect to anything, my advice is to be passionate and to love it. if you don't do those things, you're never going to succeed. If you're just a momentarily person, you're just gonna be for that moment. What are you gonna do next when they don't fuck with you no more? You understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I used to always thinking about when I'm on the road to longevity. It's like, no, I don't want to go down that road. Just stay over here. That's my mindset.
What about yourself, man?
But he said, man, like, you know, I just say stay on course and stay on purpose. I tweet it all the time. I say it all the time. And when I say that, the last of that, stay on your course. Know what your course is. And I said it downstairs. You gotta ask your purpose for permission. So you make sure you stay on course and you don't derive from that. You know, put in the time, the execution, the hours, step and repeat. It's like, you know, if you want to be a great athlete, you have to train. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with art, man. You create a technique, and like you said, create these different techniques, and you become like this amalgamation of these techniques, and you just continue to evolve. The forces of evolution. So I would just say that, man. You know, that's what I take as it, man. Just keep evolving.
Alright, cool. So shout out to, you know, Pete Rock, shout out to Amxxr. They have a new project on the way, man. That's been crazy.
Dope Boy Soul.
Dope Boy Soul. And right now, 21 grams worth his weight of soul is out now.
No doubt, man.
You feel me? Definitely go check that out.
Yep,
You will not be disappointed.
Yes.
Telling.
Yes.
And you know, I want to thank the legends, you know, for
God
kicking
bless.
it with us.
Yo, check it out, man. It's the Soul Brother #1, Pete Rock.
With a man, and you're watching Diamond Cup Media.
You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boys.
Yes, sir.